Welcome to Kathy Kelly.
Well, hello, good afternoon, and special thanks to all the people who've organized us to come together today and to recall that in 1968 in Chicago, responding to the song, "Won't You Please Come to Chicago," people had a very clear intent. They wanted to end the Vietnam War. Yes, the body bags were coming back and people agonized over young people who were killed, who were drafted and killed in a horrible war, but there was also outrage over massacre, over scorched earth, over carpet bombing, and people were clear. You can still hear the echoes from years later as people shouted, "Hey, hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today?" Compare 1968 with the Democratic National Convention 2 years ago. When I grew up in 1968 and into the 70s, we couldn't imagine when that war finally ended that anyone would ever say, "Oh, let's do it again, let's find a new Vietnam." No, of course not, but the military-industrial complex, with its growing strength and the power it gains from every single war it launches, was already hard at work planning the next war and the next and the next, so that in 2016 we almost can't keep track of the numbers of wars that are being fought. In 2016 we find that the Democrats, even Bernie Sanders, aren't willing to speak up against the military-industrial complex. And so we have the sad and the tragic litany of war after war after war. War resistors, many of them in this plaza, could be almost likened to firefighters. You know, you stamp out one war and another one starts up, but those fires aren't started by lightning. The fires of those wars are started by greed, greed for land grabs, greed for resources, greed to sell the weapons. And so we have wars that have gone on in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Lebanon, in Gaza, at the hands of the Israelis using our weapons. Wars in Somalia, in Africa, in Syria. You almost can't get the list straight to name them all. And then most recently, and may we pause over this one, war against Yemen. And on August 9th, they were children. They were on an outing in a school bus. They'd each been given shiny new book bags. They were excited, jostling each other on the bus the way children would. The bus stopped so their teachers could get food for a picnic. And a United States armed Saudi warplane, a United States fueled Saudi warplane targeted that school bus, fired a Lockheed Martin-made MK-82 missile, and 44 children were dead. And of the 76 that were wounded, there were so many children screaming and crying in pain, their bodies torn open, dazed, traumatized, burned, and maimed. They were just children. And so the United States war against Yemen continues. There was another bombing of 22 children who died just a few days ago. And we bear the responsibility to keep paying attention to the consequences of our war. And the military-industrial complex has a lot of money to pay very sharp think tanks and public relations groups to make sure that people don't know the consequences of wars. The military-industrial complex in this country doesn't want us to unite to say that we do not accept a permanent warfare state. They don't want us to recognize that these wars are actually going to prevent any rational discussion of solving our real problems. There can be no rational discussion about solving our problems as long as the military continues to take all of our resources. We could solve problems of police brutality, of mass incarceration, of environmental degradation. We could solve the problems of homelessness. We could eradicate disease. We could take care of the people who are hungry and needy all over the world. We could be beloved. We could make sure every student in this country graduates debt-free. We could do it all. But we can't do any of it and continue to feed the demonic suction cups of the war machine. And so let us come together and know that all around the world there are young people who do have strong movements, who are saying stop the children, who do say stop the wars, and who have every right to chant today, hey, hey, USA. Are we going to die this way? Hey, hey, USA. Will we, the children of the world, who aren't in the United States but bear the brunt of your wars, will we continue to die this way? Thank you.